going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about some of my tips to bring up your squat. I know a lot of people have trouble bringing up their legs, bringing up their squat in general. That's one of the hardest compound movements in my opinion, and I've managed to hit a 405 squat, which isn't the best, but I think that it's a great accomplishment considering the fact that just maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, my squat was under 300. So with that being said, the first tip I have for you guys is obviously to warm up properly. What I personally do is I go on the treadmill or the Stairmaster on a really low intensity, just to the point where I start feeling my body temperature start heating up a little bit, start warming up. I don't even have to sweat, I just want to feel my body heat up a little bit so that I can go into my squats, into my warm-up sets of squats, already feeling nice and warmed up. I don't want to get under the bar cold. I don't want to get under the bar not feeling loose. I want everything to feel right, and doing that 5 to 10 minutes of like a little bit of cardio, I guess. You can't even call that cardio because you're going at a really low intensity on the treadmill or Stairmaster. But yeah, just walk on the treadmill or go on the Stairmaster, 5 to 10 minutes, get that body temperature up, and trust me, that is going to improve your squats like crazy. Now, your warm-up sets of squats, you still want to take those seriously. Just because you did that 10-minute warm-up on the Stairmaster or treadmill does not mean that you have to neglect your warm-up sets of squats. You still want to get under the bar with no plates whatsoever, you know, do some squats with that, then slowly acclimate to your working weight. You don't want to jump into your working weight right after the treadmill because your central nervous system isn't ready for all that weight. You want to slowly acclimate, and that's also going to help you a lot on improving your squat. On your warm-up sets, you want to take those sets seriously. You want to take them as if they were your real working sets. You know, stay tight, retract your scapula when you get under the bar. Hold that bar really tight. Stay tight all throughout the movement. You don't want to lose tightness just because you don't have what's heavy for you on the bar. Just because it's a warm-up set, you don't want to take it, you know, as a joke. It's not a joke. You want to get under the bar, be serious. It's a warm-up set, yes, but it's going to allow your central nervous system to, you know, acclimate and slowly get ready for that working weight that you're about to do. Second tip I have for you guys is to pick your stance. Now, a lot of people see these fitness models and fitness personalities on YouTube doing really narrow squats or really wide squats, and that's your favorite person that you follow, right? So you want to simulate that person and squat the way they're squatting, maybe because you like their legs, they have big legs. But no, that's the wrong thing to do. You want to squat however it feels best for you. Do what's best for you. Don't simulate other people. So let's say, for example, the person you're watching is squatting really narrow, and that feels really uncomfortable for you, maybe on your hips or something. That can cause an injury for you, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that you pick a stance that you're comfortable with and that you can slowly progress on. Let's say you have a wide stance and you really want to squat narrow. That's your goal, then you can do that, but slowly, every session, you slowly, you know, start narrowing down that stance. You don't want to jump into a really narrow squat right off the bat if you can't do it, if it feels uncomfortable. Now, this next tip, I forgot where I heard it from, but it honestly helped me a lot, and it's to take 3 steps back when you're coming off of the rack. So, for example, you come off the rack, right? You unrack, you take 1, 2, and then the third step you take is to the side to basically, you know, plant your foot, and that's where you're going to squat. So I don't know if I can do it here. 1, 2, and then you put your foot to the side wherever, you know, however wide you want to squat. I guess I don't know if I really explained it well there, but I think you guys get the point. 3 steps at most. That's going to improve your squat. It's going to allow you to have less time under the bar setting up, and if you get used to, you know, taking 3 steps back at most, it's going to improve your squat a lot because it helped me a ton. Now, I previously said to pick your stance, and something that goes hand in hand with that is that you have to pick your squat as well. I see a lot of people low bar squatting, I see a lot of people high bar squatting. Again, if your fitness idol or whoever it is that you're watching, that you enjoy watching, is doing a specific squat, and then you try it and you don't like it, you don't have to do that. You can pick the squat squat that you want. So for example, if a high bar feels good for you, then stick with the high bar, slowly progress on that. If the low bar feels good for you, stick to the low bar and slowly progress on that. You don't have to do what other people are doing. Fifth tip is to, when you're squatting, you want to sit back. You want to pretend you're sitting straight back on a bench or something. A lot of people tend to lean forward, and that's just because they're squatting with their ego and the weight is getting too heavy for them. So what tends to happen is the weight comes forward like this when you're going down, and then when they come back up, it gets really hard to squat, and they basically start pushing off their toes instead of their heels just because the weight is already over them. And that's something that you don't want to do. You want to make sure that you sit back, and then when you're coming back up, you push off your heels. Next tip is that you want to pick your shoes. Either an elevated heel or a flat sole, whatever feels comfortable for you. An elevated heel is going to be a shoe like this Romelio, which has that few extra inches on the heel that raises you up. You see a lot of people at the gym put 5-pound plates on their heel and squat like that. That is going to solve that problem of having to put those 5-pound plates on the floor, which is really dangerous, by the way. So if you get an elevated heel on your shoe, it's going to feel a lot more comfortable than using this 5-pound plates. And I have these for sale. These are my old Romelios. They're a size 7.5 if anyone's interested. But yeah, an elevated heel, or then you can also use a flat sole, anything like Vans or Chucks, whatever it is. Whatever feels more comfortable for you, stick to that and progress using those same exact shoes. And yeah, that's all I have to say about shoes. This next tip is something I see a lot in the gym, and is when people start squatting, they lose tightness halfway through their set, and that's something you don't want to do. That's something that's going to hinder your progress a lot, and it's probably going to fuck up your set. You're probably not going to complete your reps. So you want to make sure you stay tight all throughout that entire set. Focus on staying tight. This next tip I think I got from Omar Isuf, and it's when you plant your feet on the floor, you want to kind of like, you know, spread the floor. So like, I don't know how to pivot your feet and make sure that you're spreading the floor, and that's going to give you a lot more torque on the way up. That honestly helps like crazy, and when I heard Omar say that, I honestly didn't believe it. I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, but that sounds ridiculous. But if you plant your feet and then pivot, it's going to help you a lot. It's going to give you a lot more explosiveness, a lot more torque, and you're going to be able to come out of the hole a lot quicker. And the last tip I have for you guys is that when you unwrap and when you have that bar on you, you want to make sure that before you start squatting down, you take a deep breath, you push into that belt that you're using. If you're not using a belt, that's fine, but just make sure you're taking a deep breath before you squat down. And then as you're coming back up, that's when you want to exhale everything. And again, for that second rep and third rep and fourth rep, do the same exact thing. Take a deep breath right before you squat down. But that's going to conclude this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave this video a like, and I'll check in with you guys in the next one. Latest.